as Michel Barnier comes to London for the next round of the UK-EU negotiations. The UK's chief negotiator David Frost has told the EU to get real in these negotiations as the end of the transition period, of course, fast approaches at the end of this year. In a statement, David Frost's latest statement, he said, "Today I will sit down with Michel Barnier and drive home our clear message that we must make progress this week if we are to reach agreement in time. We have now been talking for 6 months and can no longer afford to go over well-trodden ground. We need to see more realism from the EU about our status as an independent country." Goes on to say that as we have done from the beginning in public and in private, I will reinforce our simple, reasonable request for a free trade agreement based on those the EU has signed before with like-minded partners. Throughout, we have listened, Frost says, carefully to our EU counterparts, signalled flexibility where possible to move the talks forward and tabled new proposals to make progress. But we have repeatedly made clear that key elements of our position derive from the fundamentals of being a sovereign state, and it's time for the EU to fully recognise this reality. If they can't do that in the very limited time we have left, then we'll be trading on terms like the EU, terms like the EU has with Australia, and we are ramping up our preparations for the end of the year. He finishes by saying there is still time to reach a good agreement, and I look forward to this week's face-to-face negotiations where I hope progress can be made. And that's really, of course, one of the main points of this, is that David Frost has repeatedly made clear the UK will be a fully independent country once the transition period finishes, and yet the EU's constant demands for the UK to sign up to the level playing field and restrict us on areas like state aid, as well as maintaining the devastating status quo on fisheries, is a non-starter. But the EU so far refused to recognise that reality. So Frost really saying it's time for the EU to get real if they want to secure an agreement with the UK. Now, The Telegraph reporting, following on from a story yesterday, saying that Boris Johnson believes the UK-EU withdrawal agreement is legally ambiguous and would leave Northern Ireland isolated from the rest of the UK, something that was unforeseen when he agreed to it last year. The Brexit divorce deal is contradictory and must be rewritten to protect the Union. Boris Johnson will tell EU leaders on Tuesday. Of course, again, Barnier arriving in London on Tuesday for the latest round of talks. Johnson said he will not back down over his plan to change the terms of the withdrawal agreement, the Telegraph report, through legislation being tabled on Wednesday. So there you have it again. The government making absolutely clear that, you know, there's been talk of them overriding aspects of the withdrawal agreement. Boris Johnson appearing there not to be backing down on that. And I got to say, this one did make me chuckle. The Guardian: leaked EU cables reveal growing mistrust of UK in Brexit talks. Brussels' plummeting trust in Boris Johnson has been laid bare in leaked diplomatic cables obtained by The Guardian. Well, I wonder how they got those. A mystery, I'm sure. Johnson is suspected of holding back on finding... I mean, do these people understand how a negotiation works? Johnson is suspected of holding back on finding a compromise on the key outstanding issues of fisheries, state aid and dispute resolution until the last moment in order to achieve a last-minute trade-off. Wow. It's almost as if we've got a government and a Prime Minister who are actually negotiating properly, rather than just rolling over to the EU's every demand like we had before. The strategy has been described by officials in the chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier's team as concerning, given the complexity of the issues. Well, of course they're concerned, because we've got a government that isn't just handing out and bowing down to every single EU demand, and is serious, absolutely serious it seems, about no deal. The UK also accused, apparently, of recently introducing a new concept in the negotiations. This is what the Guardian reporting. In the negotiations over access to British waters for European fishing fleets, under which 80% of the common stocks have been designated as priority stocks, on which British fishermen have the biggest claim. Wow. British fishermen will get the biggest claim on priority stocks. Yes, a concept that I'm sure unsettles the EU, but one that is in the British national interest, because our fishermen, our fishing industry has been devastated and cannot be betrayed. Look guys, it comes down to this, doesn't it? The government are refusing to roll over. The government are holding firm. They've set out what the EU need to do if they want a sensible trade deal, rather than seeking to maintain areas of political control. It's a fair position. It's a solid position. It's a position I think and I hope the government will stick to, because the idea that we would sign up, as I've said many times before, about to EU state aid policy and all the rest of it is ridiculous. But there you have it. That's the state of play. David Frost telling the EU they need to get real. Let me know, guys, do you think the EU will get real? Is it simply time to walk away now? Do you think a deal will be done right at the end of the negotiations? But as we saw, and yesterday I did a video on this, Boris Johnson, just 38, now 37 days, he's saying, deadline until we have no deal. Let me know what you think is going to happen, guys, what you want to happen as well. And as ever, remember, if you've enjoyed this report, click thumbs up, click subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss the next report. Thanks for watching.